This episode of Chewing the Fat is brought to you by the Secret Hub Studios in conjunction with netchannel2.com. Good evening, everyone. Episode 34 of Chewing the Fat coming to you live from Sydney and live from the Gold Coast. And with us we have Mr. Glenn Goodman. Once again, hello, sir.
Good evening. How are you going?
I'm all right. What's happening?
Nothing much. Just enjoying the cooler weather, pretty much.
Oh, really? You're actually enjoying the cooler weather?
Yeah, I don't mind it as it gets cool. It gets cold in the mornings, but like the days are perfect.
The days are
I
good.
like.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, this is the time of year that I like. The mornings could be a little bit warmer, but the days are absolutely
Yeah, they're
just
perfect.
perfect.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
You're right. I like spring. Spring is my favourite time of year because you wake up and that chill is out of the air, but the days aren't hot. They're not stinking hot days.
Yeah. So has it been? What's like the coolness been like in Sydney? Because if it's
Oh, it's
cool
been
here,
cold. It's been cold.
yeah,
But it
like
warms
so
up by
jumper.
about 9:30, 10 o'clock. It's quite
Oh
nice.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So jumper weather.
Definitely jumper weather in the morning. And when I go outside for my coffee and my cigarette in the morning, because obviously I can't smoke in the house, that would be silly. I have to turn the outdoor patio heater on.
Oh no, that's sad.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty sad. But,
Yeah, look, I can jump out of bed and probably just You don't. I wouldn't have to put a jumper on yet.
Oh,
I
really?
would,
Right,
and I wouldn't be hot.
right.
But no, I could. You could do without a jumper.
Well, I've got my long sleeves on now. So,
Oh yeah, well, geez,
yeah.
short.
Yeah, well, look at that. And
What
do
thing?
you have any ventilation on in your room?
No, I've got the doors and the windows open.
You're kidding me. Is it the weather that good up there? If I
Yes.
if I left the doors and windows open in this room now, I can just say one word, shrinkage.
Well, look, it says. Well, I'm in the house. I've got insulation in the roof. Look at the outside. It'd probably be a bit bitey. It's Google says it's 16 degrees, but that's on the water. I'm probably 10 minutes from the water.
Well, what's it
So,
say for me here? I'm not on the. I'm about a bit longer than 10 minutes. It's 15 at the moment here, according to this.
mm,
It's bloody cold though.
that's the same. I think it's a different type of
It's a
cold.
different type of cold. You're right. This is
Yeah.
where I am here. There's a lot of there's a hell of a lot of trees, hell of a lot of trees. So I think that cools it down a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's good. It's good.
All right.
And
Cool.
yeah. So what else has been happening?
Oh, nothing
Anything
much.
exciting?
I've just been watching and reading the newspapers with interest and wondering what's going on and who's going to fall next and what scam we're going to hear about next and who's paying for whose legal fees and what excuses certain individuals are going to come up with. It's all happening.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you making of it all?
Oh, look, in all honesty, I just want it to be over. I think a lot of people are just over it.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
tired
But
of it. I'm even reluctant to talk about it tonight. I think we should just bang on and tell stupid jokes, in all honesty,
yeah.
because it's just getting to the point of ridiculous. Every day, it's just like, come on, guys, this is just pathetic. We are the laughing stock of the world. It's just really
Well, I could
bad.
only probably say one thing. Well, I could probably say a few more, but they want to bring in. I think it's hysterical that they need to bring in a code of conduct. It's hysterical
It is quite funny, and the main reason being
because
is what you didn't have one before.
yeah, or what do you need a rule to say that you don't spend someone else's money on a credit card on hookers?
Well, this
Does
is
that
it.
rule have to be written there?
Does someone need to point out to them the difference between right and wrong? Really?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's just pathetic. Now,
And then
these are the
yeah,
people that are running a country with 22 million people, and someone has to say, "Oh, I think we need a code of conduct because we don't know the difference between right and wrong. What do you reckon?"
it's a joke.
It's
And
moronic.
I think what's wrong with this place as probably as a whole is that like everyone's got this benefit of the doubt thing going on because
Oh,
it's not written in black and white. It's well, it wasn't written down that you couldn't do it.
yeah.
So
See, that's the thing. Instead of using their moral compass, they're relying on the legal compass. Well, it's not written down anywhere, so legally I didn't do anything wrong. But what does
and
your moral compass tell you?
Yeah, and so like they're saying, well, code of conduct, they're sort of shying away from that actual terminology. Now they're just doing like an ethics
Well,
thing,
this is the
like
thing. Ethics should be taught in schools.
yeah, yeah. Well, he's done the wrong thing, and
He's done
as I
the
think
wrong
we've
thing,
probably
and if he
done
can't
on.
admit it, and no one else, and everyone's, I stand by the Minister of Dobell. How many times have you heard
Yeah.
that?
And oh, they set me up, they set me up, they set
This,
me up.
oh,
Who
that's the
did?
next thing, isn't it?
Oh,
Someone
not
hacked his
telling.
phone.
Yeah, yeah, but he's not telling who it was.
Yes,
Wouldn't want to get them in trouble.
yeah, someone hacked his phone. You know what someone said? Said, look, you know what? It'd be quite easy. Go and find out who these supposed girls were that he paid
Mm,
for, and interview them, and I guarantee you he'd go down in 5 seconds.
mm, mm.
Why don't they
Oh
go and
yeah,
chase up these girls? Who
but
knows? They might be trying to find these birds.
yeah,
Because the records would be there. The records are there, right? The phone calls are there, the payments are there, and say, well, this payment, what girl was he with? Okay, we need to question her. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they're doing now, because the police aren't stupid.
but then again, is it going to come down to well, his word over a prostitute?
Oh, well, then
Oh,
it comes to a
prostitute's word
question
over
of
his.
credibility, doesn't it? If
Yeah,
it was
well,
just, if it was just he said, she said, and there was no physical evidence, okay, the prostitute might lose out over a politician.
yeah,
Not by
yeah.
much, let me tell you.
Mm.
But because they've got evidence of receipts and credit cards and signatures, well, then you'd start to lean towards, you'd look at the substance over you know what I mean? The substance of the
Yeah.
evidence would be greater.
So what he's saying is, well, the credit card receipts have been forged as well.
Well, yeah, they've been
Is this
forged.
what he,
Well,
is this what he's
someone's
saying?
walked into his house, grabbed his wallet and his phone, gone down to
So
Sydney from the
he's
Central
saying,
Coast.
oh, Craigie boy saying that his receipts have been forged.
Yes.
Slipper's saying he's actually signed his receipts.
Yeah, well, Slipper's just probably not that clever. But so the thing is, someone's got his wallet. This is Craig Thompson's wallet and his phone up at Gosford on the Central Coast. They've
Mm.
driven down to Sydney and played hanky panky with a couple of call girls, and then driven all the way back to Gosford and put his wallet and phone back.
Oh, I tell you. And as I said at the start, or close to the start of it, what are these independents doing? Like fair enough, innocent until guilty, but surely he shouldn't be having a vote. If there's this much suspicion on some character who happens to hold a seat of parliament, surely he shouldn't have a vote. His vote should be stripped.
His vote should be stripped. Well, they're not going to strip it because they know it'll be the fall of government. If it wasn't so close a call, they probably would strip him to make an example of him. But this would
Hmm.
bring down the government. That's why they're not doing it. And they're doing it for their own purposes, obviously.
Did you see the funny story? I'm not sure if it was this previous week or the week before, where Julia was at the school and she says, "How many fingers am I holding up?" or
Yeah.
something.
I didn't hear
Did you see
that.
that?
No, I didn't see that.
She's at a school and she's talking to a little girl, and she said, she goes, "How many fingers am I holding up?" And she held up 3 fingers or something, and the girl goes, "3," and Julia goes, "No, 4."
What?
And she's holding up. Julia said 4 fingers,
Yeah.
and she's only holding up 3. And the little girl says, "You're wrong. It's 3." There's a baby video of it.
What a dumbass. That's
She,
embarrassing.
I know, but like obviously, like she can count. Obviously, she can count. But it's just the whole. It just sort of, it just gives the whole
It just taints. It adds
feeling.
to her taint. It adds
Yeah, it adds
her.
the whole perception
Yes,
of
of just
the
oh
entire.
God, this woman is an embarrassment. That's what it adds.
Yeah,
That's what it's doing to it, isn't it? What an
yeah,
absolute embarrassment.
yeah. I can't believe you didn't see it.
No,
That
I
was quite.
haven't.
I thought it was everywhere.
I have not seen that. That is bizarre.
Yeah,
So that's what's going on. I still reckon that we're going to be in the tally room before June 30.
yeah, we could be. Yeah.
Unfortunately for you, you're going to have to fly down. I can drive.
So what am I jetting into Sydney and we're going to do the
No,
drive, or are we?
just jet into Canberra, mate.
Yeah.
I'll pick
All
you up
right.
from the airport.
So you'd be driving
I'll
down
drive to Canberra. Look, I
to
could
see
drive.
Bear.
Look, I could fly to Canberra, but you get to the airport, you got to get there an hour before the flight, right? Then you got
Oh,
to
okay.
then it's a 30-minute flight. It's only 30 minutes. You take off, you land. 30-minute flight. Then I got to drive. Then I got to hire a car to get to the airport
Yeah.
or get a cab and get to the
True.
airport
Yeah.
to the hotel. And
What drive? It's
all
only
of that's
got
going
to
to
be
take
about 3 hours.
4 or 5 hours. I might as well drive. It only takes 2.5 hours.
Yeah. 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 Right. Oh, that's all right. Yeah. That's close as. Yeah. I'd be driving too.
Yeah. So you just fly down, mate, and use your points. You
Yeah.
got some points you can use or something?
Oh, no, I don't have
You
points.
don't have points? Oh, I'll spring you some points.
No, no, it's all right. If we get a good deal, I can only. I'm only doing it if we get a cheap, like little
Oh, look, there won't be
$70.
much to Canberra. It'll be probably a couple of $100 return.
Yeah. Well, no one wants to go there, do they?
No, that's yeah, that's right. Canberra, sure. We could. You want to upgrade? You got the whole plane to yourself.
Yeah. But
Oh dear.
yeah. So that sort of story that was going on through
I'm
the
just
week. So
tired.
yeah.
I'm just tired. I just want an election, and
Yeah.
and I'm not going to get upset about it anymore. I'm not going to get over passionate about it anymore because I want to leave some energy for the actual tally room. I don't want to go to
Yeah.
tally room flat.
No.
So I'm
No.
just
That's right.
saving all that up. I'm not going to get upset anymore. They can all just go away. And
Want to
then,
save your yeehaws and yahoos.
yeah, so, so we'll see what
So
happens. So what
did
else
you
you
pull
got?
any other story? Yeah. Well, look, I've got a
I got
another
one
story
main one.
here.
I got one main one, but we'll go. What do you got? You might have the same one.
Yeah, look, I've just had a look at your stories, and pretty much you've got the ones that I've pulled out. But I've got a couple more. I've got one. We might as well stick with the political type of stories if you want.
Yeah.
Because I pulled a couple others out which aren't political. But apparently, look, there's this guy John McTernan.
Oh
Now
yes,
he.
yes,
So I don't
yes.
know. Wouldn't know him if I fell
Look,
over him.
I knew
Um,
about this. I heard this whole thing. The reason I didn't bring it up is because I just get too upset.
tired.
Because
So
it just
anyway,
infuriates me.
so John McTernan, he's the spin doctor of the government.
Yes.
He's the let's see if I can find out what he actually
I think
is.
he's the
In my
media operations manager or something like that.
he used to work for the Tony Blair's government. But anyway, he Ross Greenwood. Now everyone knows Ross Greenwood, and I didn't realise he was actually a host on the radio full time, like
Yeah, he's
a
got a show
DJ.
at 6 o'clock every night, I think, or most nights.
Right. So anyway, so he's talking to Penny Wong, and it's all about the superannuation and how what they're going to tax. They're going to tax high earners.
This extra bit. Let's just call it they're going to get tax extra to keep it simple.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So if you earn over $300,000, whoever earns over $300,000
And contributes more than 25,000.
is going to get taxed
Yep.
more.
Yep.
So that's the line Penny Wong or Penny Wrong was.
Penny wrong,
No,
more like it. Yeah.
that's the line she was driving at. She was driving that hard and fast. And then Ross goes, well, no, that doesn't seem right. I've been reading the law or the budget. It's not law yet, but I've been reading the budget documents and so forth. And he goes, it seems to me that, yes, that is true for the majority of people, but politicians under the old defined benefit scheme won't be. She goes, no,
Correct.
that's wrong. Everyone's paying it.
That's
He
right.
goes,
Well,
well,
pretty much he said everyone, regardless of blah, 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 is going to be paying it. And he looked into it further and said, no, you're wrong.
So anyway, later that night, this John McTernan contacted Ross after the show.
McTurden.
Yeah, on Wednesday after Ross claimed the government's decision to raise tax on high income earners would not apply to many politicians. So McTernan, a former advisor to Tony Blair, described the story, which Greenwood stands by, as an inaccurate smash-up. Now, according to Rossi, the former Tony Blair advisor launched into an absolute tirade that involved him dropping the F and, it doesn't say the other one, but it just says the F-bomb 30 times over 12 minutes.
Yeah.
So what type of professional?
Yes, that's right. This is the sort of person that Julie Gillard hires. What does that tell you, once again, about her judgment?
Now, Ross has gone on the program. Now, you can Google, there's the excerpts of the program. You just, I don't know, Google the 2GB.
I think he's actually got, if you go to 2gb.com, the actual, the segment where he talks about this is on the website. You can download or listen or stream it live. And
Yeah.
So for the viewers or listeners who want to listen to that, it's just there. Ross Greenwood, 2gb.com. And then he'll have his comment about John McTiernan, and probably his interview with Penny Wrong.
So he's got, and Ross went on to say he got angry, super angry. He was trying to bully me. He said McTiernan, a Scotsman, reminded him of Malcolm Tucker, the foul-mouthed fictional spin doctor in the TV series The Thick of It, which I've never seen.
I saw a clip of it, but don't really know much about it.
So the next morning, Alan Jones has picked up the pieces, as he does, and he's given him a good shake. Mr. McTiernan, give me a call. Give me a call. He thundered. I can't do an Alan Jones voice, otherwise I will.
Give me a call.
Give me a call. Give me a call. It's like Kermit. Oh, I'll do a voice. Do you want me to do a voice?
Do a voice.
Okay. Give me a call. Give me a call.
Yeah, you got to go a bit nasal. John McTiernan, give me a call.
Give me a call. Give me a call. I'll be less polite than Mr. Greenwood. I'll be less polite. But don't do it over the phone. Join me in the office. These people are bully boys, and they need to be treated as such, Roscoe. Whoever the hell Roscoe is.
You sound like Fatty Borton.
Well, turn it up, fat man. Now, but Ray Hadley's also gone on it, accusing Mr. Turner of riding roughshod over the media. So look, it's a cock up.
Yeah, look, it's a massive balls up.
What sort of professional individual rings up the media going off half cocked?
Yeah. If you're going to go off at someone, don't go off at someone who's going to go on his show the next day and go, guess what happened to me last night?
Yeah.
Oh, what an idiot. That just goes to show the arrogance and the cockiness of this guy when he thinks he can ring someone as important as this guy who's got a nationally syndicated radio show. He's a journalist for the Herald and a few other publications. Plus, he's on Channel 9 on a daily basis.
So Ross has phoned up his old mates, the head of superannuation funds and everything.
Yes.
And they've gone, yeah.
You're right,
that's
mate.
What the budget says. Ross, you're right. Everyone will be taxed except the politicians.
Yeah, exactly.
What a joke.
So once again, they're feathering their own nests at the expense of the taxpayer. Well done. Gee, that hasn't happened before. They've never abused entitlements before. Well done.
All right. So, well, let's move off those kind of ones if you want.
Morons. Just before we sign off, you're all morons. I can't wait to see the back of you. See you in the tally room, and I won't even shake your hand because, as far as I'm concerned, you don't exist.
No, you know what you do? Oh, John McTiernan comes over to shake your hand. You give him the old spit in it, and then shake it.
That's it. Or, better still, why don't we do this? We rent a Tarago from Canberra Airport, and then we get a sign and we put it to the back, Federal Labor Caucus Bus. Only 8 seats available, and a little print in brackets, that's okay, that's all we'll need.
That's right. But anyway, moving to the other side of the world, the British town of Sandwich. I didn't know there was a town of Sandwich.
I was always wondering where they got the name from.
Yeah, it's staging a dramatic reenactment of the moment when the town's Earl was said to have invented the sandwich.
Was his name Earl Sandwich? Or the Duke of Sandwich?
He was the Earl of Sandwich.
The Earl of Sandwich.
Yeah, so it's a town that came before the actual product.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's to mark the 250th anniversary of the sandwich. Now the fourth.
And I love a good sandwich.
Oh, yeah, I had 2 for tea.
I had 2 chicken sandwiches for lunch. Get that up, you Duke.
Yes, yeah, Duke of Earl. Now the Earl of Sandwich, a keen card player apparently, called for a slice of beef between 2 toasted pieces of bread, so they could carry on gaming uninterrupted. But fair enough.
Gambling does pay off.
Historians are sceptical of the claim that the Earl invented the sandwich. They say it belongs to a long line of bread-based snacks stretching back much more and much further than the 18th century, but this has not stopped the town from celebrating. So good on the town of Sandwich.
Yeah, well done, Sandwich. Now I know where you're from. Love it. Love your work.
And I'll tell you one person that finds it extremely hard to eat a sandwich,
Who would that
and
be?
that is the limbless Frenchman
Oh, good lord.
planning to make 4 challenging swims around the world. Finally got his epic journey underway.
Hang on,
Limbless
limbless. What,
swimming.
no arms, no legs? What,
This
did he just
guy
use his
cruises.
old fella as a rudder?
Well, I don't know how he does it. He's got attachments. He uses special artificial limbs with flippers. He used these to cross the English Channel, and he's being joined in his 2012 adventure by able-bodied long-distance swimming champion Arnaud Chassery.
Well, you're going to need him
So,
because the guy's going to drown. You need someone there to save his bacon.
Crozier swam the English Channel in 2010 and hopes to make 4 swims over the next few months. So joining Oceania and Asia, Africa and Asia, Europe and Africa, and Asia to America. This guy's insane.
Oh.
He's got no arms, no legs, and he's going for a swim.
Well, you know what? Some people, they just don't let these things get in their way, and that's pretty amazing stuff. Good
But
for him.
his life changed dramatically in 1994 when doctors were forced to amputate his limbs after he was hit by a 20,000-volt charge as he
Holy
tried to dismantle a television antenna.
NBN worker.
Oh, no, 1994, dial up.
Dial up, yeah, that's right. Just before dial up.
The 20,000 volt, how the hell would a 20,000 volt go into the aerial?
Tell you what, he didn't have one of those cut-off switches, obviously.
No,
Mm.
he needed one of them, didn't he?
Well, see, this just goes to prove that regardless of disability, some people just get on with it and do the best they can with what they've been given or what they've ended up with.
Oh, yeah, more power to him, but geez.
Exactly. But, that leads us to our next story. And, when you compare that man who is not letting anything get in the way of his achievements, then you've
Yeah.
got this spoilt brat from Geelong Grammar Private School.
Fair enough.
She didn't get into the university course she wanted, so she sues her high school. A former student of one of Australia's most prestigious private schools is suing the academic institution after she failed to get into the law course of her choice. Rose Ashton Weir, I would tell you what, if I was her, I wouldn't be making my name available because on some of the news websites here, there's 600, 700 comments, and pretty much all of them are bagging the bejeebies out of her. What an idiot. Claims that the elite Geelong Grammar School, where Britain's Prince Charles spent 2 terms as a student in 1966, did not provide her with adequate support. As a result, the teenager's final high school score was insufficiently high enough to gain admittance to law at the University of Sydney.
Now, yeah, so she got. I'm sorry. Did you say one of her score results in your little piece there?
Did I say what?
One of her test results.
No, I did not. No.
The test result reportedly struggled with mathematics.
Yes.
She scored 8 out of 68 in one test.
Yes.
Despite this, she was placed in regular class.
Yes.
The school representative said every effort had been made to help her.
Yes.
She wants. Do you have a guess how much she wants?
Oh, look, I don't know, 100,000, 200,000.
She wants 39,000 compensation for rent she paid when they moved to a new home. This is the mother. The mother.
Yeah, but hang on a minute. I'm reading that now. But you know what? She wanted to study at University of Sydney. And,
yeah.
Right. So she would have paid that rent anyway. But now she's suing them to recover the rent that she paid in Sydney because she went to another uni in Sydney. Look, you were going there anyway, you moron.
Because I thought when I read that, I thought, oh, 39. That's not being greedy. That's probably fair.
Then you kept reading.
Then I kept reading. She also claims, the mother, that the girl's move resulted in her giving up her cookie business, which would have raked in $450,000 in over 3 years.
Liar. I'm calling it now. You're a liar. That wouldn't have raked cookie business. How many cookies would you? That's profit. So how many cookies would you have to make at what margin over a 3-year period to make $150,000 a year in
You're not doing
cookies.
it, love. Yeah,
And
she's not
obviously,
doing it.
it wasn't an established business with employees because she had to shut it down. So obviously, it was just a one-man band, and one-man
How much?
band could not make $150,000 profit out of cookies each year.
How much would a first, second, third year lawyer have made over that same period? You reckon?
First year lawyer, what? First year out of uni? Yeah, is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
First
yeah.
year out of
So
uni
that's what she
in
wants.
Sydney, probably 65 grand graduate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so the next year, what, 80?
Yeah. Yep. And the
And then
year
next
after
year,
that, probably 110.
right. So that still doesn't add up to 400. She would have been better to stick with the cookie business,
There you go. Exactly.
wouldn't she?
Yeah. Well,
She's
yeah,
on
that's
she's
right.
onto a good thing. She's
Yeah.
onto a monster.
Look, she's a
She wouldn't
moron.
have to go to.
At the end of
Yeah.
the
So,
day, you are everybody. I don't care what school. Look, okay, no, I can't say I don't care what school you go to. Some people do go to schools that are just impossible to learn at because of, thugs and bullies and socio-economic issues, etc. So, putting all that aside, generally, if you go to a school that she went to with the opportunities that she has had, you've got no one to blame but yourself.
yeah.
The problem
Well,
is her she's been raised with this sense of entitlement, and her mother for her whole life probably blew smoke up her ass and told her how wonderful she was and how smart she was, instead of actually
mm,
telling her the truth and saying, you know what, you're not doing well in these subjects, pull your finger out, or else you're not going to get anywhere, you're not going to do anything with your life, so come on, let's go, I'll help you, let's get organised, let's do it together, and to make sure you work hard to get it done. But no, she sat on her ass, she did nothing, and now she's blaming the school.
the school told the tribunal that she had been suspended several times.
For what
That
sort of,
doesn't say.
doesn't say.
Was absent from class often and had failed to complete required schoolwork.
Right, okay. Well, look, I've got a theory. Yes, exactly. Look, there's a mention in here that she was tested as a gifted child, right? I'm not going to say that's untrue. I don't know. However, it has been proven that gifted children who are not challenged will a lot of the time get bored and will actually suffer in school, and their marks actually will decrease because they're not challenged enough, because they just get bored and they start causing trouble, or they just get they get idle and they get restless. That's a known fact, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, a lot of the time also it's a known fact that these gifted children who aren't recognized as gifted and pushed up and encouraged to do more interesting courses, whether that be mathematics or English or history or geography or whatever subject she's doing, if you're not challenged, constantly challenged by more difficult subjects, you will tend to get bored and distract the class and do badly at school. But
Mm.
these sorts of kids tend to have these problems only in schools where there are no opportunities for gifted children. She was at Geelong Grammar School, where there would have been every opportunity for a gifted
Oh,
children's
yeah.
program. At
Yeah.
$25,000 a year, you can't tell me that they didn't have a bunch of gifted kids in doing 4 unit maths at uni, or 4 unit English, or you know what I mean? The highest, for those who are listening from overseas, 4 unit is 4 unit, any subject, whether it be maths, English, history, or whatever, is the highest and the most difficult level that you can do in high school. And they're usually for the really, really smart people who are going to get 100 out of 100 in everything that
Mm.
they do. Um,
Yeah.
Now, you can't tell me that she said, oh, I did an IQ test, we've got to assess and whatnot, and you would have thought that the teachers would have known this, because she said that they knew. Well, why didn't the teachers say, okay, then, in that case, we need to constantly challenge you in order for
Yeah.
you to meet your potential?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they
Look,
didn't, because she wasn't frickin' gifted.
look, she's probably, it's one of these things. Yeah, that's right. She's come back home and Mum said, "Well, you failed," and she goes, "Yeah, well, it was the school," and then they've all, just
Okay,
Probably
begs the next question, mate. This has obviously been going on well before year 12. If the school wasn't that crash hot, why'd she stay there?
yeah.
Why'd they leave her there?
But 450,000 over 3 years for selling cookies.
That's bullshit.
I would have stayed there.
That's
I would have
profit.
stayed there. Would
That's
have done the
profit too.
cookie
So
business.
in order to make a profit of 150 a year, let's call it that's 30% net profit. That means that you would have had to sell $450,000 a year in cookies, of which 150 went to costs, 150 went to
And
salaries, leaving you 150 in profit. So she's trying to tell us that she turned over $450,000 a year in cookies, selling cookies in a one-man show.
that's a joke.
One man show, 450,000. That's 10,000, $8,000 a month. No, more than that. It's 30, 50, $40,000 a month, nearly $35,000 a month gross sales in cookies. 35,000 at $1 a
Yeah.
cookie, which is what, or $2 a cookie. That's 17,500 cookies that she was making by herself
Where was
each month.
she's off her
How
head.
big's your oven?
How is, like, fair enough. Like, you got these franchise like the Cookie Man or whatever they are. They order in the cookies. They're not actually making them themselves. But I mean, where's she going to sell all these cookies?
But they've got staff. She didn't have any staff. So who's doing all the work? She's doing the book work. She's doing the selling. She's doing the making and the baking.
The judge is just going to take the paper. He's going to get the whatever you call it, the list of the complaint on a bit of paper. He's going to look at it.
And
He's going to
laugh.
screw it up. Take
Next,
it to the toilet.
next
wipe it
case,
after.
please. Don't waste my time. And then
What
you can add the $50,000 legal fee to your list of gripes.
What a joke. What a joke.
That is a joke. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. Sorry. If the school's not that good in the first place, why'd you stay there? Surely there are more. Victoria's got private schools like Queensland has and Sydney has lots of private schools. Pick one. Anyone. You could have done your research and picked a private school that actually catered to gifted children, but did you? No, you didn't. You sat on your fat, self-entitled ass and did frickin' nothing. Now, there's a thing on Twitter. It says, "I'm suing my high school because it's a trending topic."
Yeah.
Right, and these are some of the comments. And this is all prefaced with the hashtag "I'm suing my high school because I have not yet attained my long-term goals. I had to wear bloomers and it was 1979 and everyone else was wearing lycra. I hated the librarians. I had to wear tartan gym bloomers and they expected our underpants to make sure there were green cottontails. These are people just taking the piss. Never helped with kids get bullied like me, for example. They educated me to the best of our collective abilities. I used to sit at the back of the class too far away from the smartboard, and now I wear glasses. I had to sue my school because I had to make an ashtray in metal work. So these people are taking the piss completely. This woman is going to get, if she thought social bullying was bad, you wait till the Twitter army gets onto her. It's just stupid.
She's just stupid.
Anyway,
You're stupid, love. Go get a job. Go back to cookies.
But she went to university anyway, another university, and got a law degree. So what's your problem?
Go donuts.
You know what it is? She's finished her law degree, or halfway through it, and she's probably not doing well there either, because she's a balls up. It's always the typical. It's always somebody else's fault. Never takes responsibility for her own actions, and so she's thinking, well, this isn't fair. If I went to Sydney University, I would have done better. Love, let me tell you something. I've done law at university, and the content is pretty much the same. Because they have to be, and I'll tell you why they have to be. It'll be the same all across every state in Australia. Their content has to be similar, because when you finish your law studies, you have to go and sit the solicitor's or barrister's exam. And they will not let you sit the exam unless you have done particular subjects. So that's why all the courses are tailored to enable you to sit those exams when you finish your law degree, so you can practice law. Because you just can't walk out of uni and go, right, I'm going to put up my shingle and practice law. You've got to sit for your lawyer's exam or your barrister's exam so that you can get your practicing certificate. In order to get that, the Law Society says, okay, in order to get in, in order to sit for these exams, you must have done these 10 subjects or these 20 subjects. So every school has to pick the same 20 subjects. Otherwise, you can't sit for the exam. So, it doesn't matter what law school you go to. She just won't take responsibility. You lazy, greedy, self-entitled, non-responsible taking pain in the ass. Go away.
She's going to sue now for because she's going to get fat for eating more cookies.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And then if she stayed home and made cookies, she's going to sue the dough company for supplying her with fatty dough. Now she's a fat ass.
Yeah.
No one forced you to eat the cookies, love.
Give yourself an uppercut.
Yeah,
whatever your name.
Anyway, that'll do. Chewing the fat. Over for another week. May 17. See you next week. See you at the election.
Yeah. This episode of Chewing the Fat.
All right. Ciao.
See you, mate.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, chat.
Bye.